Hey there, this is Will, and I'm going over Analogies Handout 2. Let's just go ahead and get started here. We're just going to start with the football one, and we're going to go through this and see how this works out for us. This one is about a faithful alumna, and she's really excited, or heartened, I think is the word they might use, by State's winning its last 4 football games. So, the last 4. All right. And so the conclusion, I think, or what the author is concluding, is that they're going to win their next one. Or what the next, that's the conclusion, right? So let's just think about that as a conclusion, even if, you might wonder if that's a proper conclusion. But yeah, and the person's concluding they're going to win. So, and in fact, they're so convinced they bet on it, or that it's likely that it's going to be the case. So what happens when we add this information here? What happens when we add A, right? Well, this one is that they lose their quarterback, right? And, intuitively, think about what happened when Tom Brady went down for the Patriots and they lost. Well, it kind of just makes the conclusion less likely, right? And the appeal there is that it obviously makes it weaker, but why? Well, it's a huge, disanalogy. It's a huge dissimilarity. And it's very important to have your star quarterback, and without it, you're less likely to win, and thus it weakens the argument. Or at least that's how it's supposed to go, I think. So we're going to look here at B now, this one is like something like, look at the home games. You got 2 home games, and then you got away games, and you got 2 away, and so it shows that out of the 4, it just kind of doesn't matter where you play. You're winning no matter where you play. So that actually makes the argument stronger, right? Or more likely, right? By looking at that data and seeing that you have won away, you've won at home, it just really doesn't have an effect. I mean, this is a big dissimilarity among the premises and the number of entities, and I just think that it's what I would say is that it's a good sample. It's just a really good sampling of games, in different places, right? The next one is my favorite one. We see here. The chemistry department professor won a Nobel Prize. All right, so that's we've got to ask, what bearing does that have on the conclusion? Does it make it less likely or more likely that State will win? Well, I don't know. You'd have to stretch to say either way, but I'm going to say neither. And we don't need to pull in any arguments for quantum mechanics or how excited people get or whatever. I mean, let's just not reach for it and say that it has no effect. So the next one is, I think this is the case where instead of it winning its last 4 games, it wins its last 6, right? So, this is going to make it more likely, right? And I just want to pause for a second, before I say, it does make the argument stronger, and it's the number of entities, and that has increased from 4 to 6, and that's really important. But I just want to pause and, I want to give reverence to another argument. That is that, if you keep winning, you got to lose sometime, right? And we take this premise in isolation from all these other premises, and just with respect to this, right? So just with respect to this, and you got to lose sometime, and there's no data suggesting you're going to lose. The premise is, well, hey, State won its last 4, therefore it's likely to win its next game too. Well, once you increase that to 6, depending on how many games there are in a season, and I just want to say that I don't think it's completely illegitimate to say, well, what, actually maybe they're going to lose, but I think for our purposes, right, that it's fair to say that the author wanted to convey to you that this just kind of strengthens the argument, and that it makes it more likely the conclusion will follow. But I just want to pause and say something about that really quickly. So the next one here, E, this is about the conditions of the game, right? So it rained, right? It rained every time that they've played so far. And it's going to rain again. So the conditions under which they played are the same. I think that makes the conclusion more likely, or at least that's the role it's supposed to play. Some true sports fans might disagree. But it strengthens the argument, and the number of disanalogies is there are fewer disanalogies, and the number of respects are increased. So just keep that in mind. That this makes it more likely, under the same conditions, that they win. All right, so let's go here to F. I don't want to recycle blue. Let's go to yellow. Now this is an interesting one here. Let's say they win by like 4 touchdowns, right? At least 4 touchdowns. I mean, it could have even been more. Well, that makes this conclusion seem pretty modest, right? If they're just out there blowing teams away, left and right, I mean, I think it makes it more likely, right? Because of the modesty. I mean, this Heartened alumna, she could be saying, oh man, they're going to win by 70, but she's not saying that. She's just going to say they're going to win. They're going to win. So it actually makes the argument stronger.